It could be a day Zach Osborne will never forget. He walks into Budds Creek today with a chance to win his first ever professional motocross championship, but there are always bumps in the road. And there is Osborne earlier today on the right side of your screen in white and red, getting pile driven into the ground by another competitor's bike. He would somehow recover to finish 8th in the moto and prevent a huge loss of series points. Adam Cianciarulo would go on to win that race, his first career moto victory. He wants to finish it off as Moto 2 looms here on NBCSN. Osborne, if he places well here, could win his first professional motocross title. We're just outside of Washington, D.C. for the next to last round of the 2017 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing. It's the Geico Motorcycle Budds Creek National. Hello, everyone. Jason Wygant here at Budds Creek, joined, of course, by Grant Langston, multi-time motocross and supercross champion. We're talking about the 250 class in motocross today on NBCSN. We'll show you the point standings coming into this next to last round. Zach Osborne looking at a dream run. It has been an 11-year professional journey for him. He might be able to wrap up the title today. He has a 63-point lead over Jeremy Martin. If he leaves this race with a 50 or more point lead, the title is his. It has been a long journey for Osborne throughout his career to get to this point. But this season, he's done a great job, maybe because of that experience, Grant, minimizing the damage. He seems to always be in the hunt no matter what conditions we race in.
Yeah, it seems like no matter what's thrown his direction, he made the most of it. Even on his bad days, he was able to get the most amount of points possible, I thought. You know, he really made the most of it, and they always say championships are won on your bad days. Of course, if you're going to win a championship, you're going to win some races, but it's what you do on the days it's not going your way, whether through mud, mechanical, whatever. He seemed to overcome it, and that's why he's got this big points lead.
But he still has to finish the job either this weekend or next in Indiana. Let's see what's running through his mind. Send it to Georgia Lindsay.
Budds Creek seems to have a special place in Zach Osborne's heart. It's the first place you led laps, first 250 overall, and possibly a 250 championship today at Budds Creek. How are you feeling going into the weekend?
Yeah, I feel great. As you said, this place is close to my heart, and it's a track that I really enjoy. So I'm looking forward to the day and just hoping for the best.
I'm sure there's a lot of nerves, excitement. How are you dealing with the pressure?
I'm not so nervous. I mean, we have another weekend next weekend if it doesn't happen today. So I'm just looking to do my normal plan, which is to be in the top 5 in both motos, and the cards will fall how they may. So I'm looking forward to it.
Best of luck. Thanks, Zach.
1 year ago, Zach Osborne took his first ever pro motocross overall victory at this track in Southern Maryland. It's a track that nearly led to the undoing of his pro career when he broke through as a rookie 10 years earlier. But now he's on top looking for a title in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Catching some Maryland blue crabs here. Not too far from it. Potomac rolls right through about 4 miles from this track. Here's the 411 of Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. We race 2 different motorcycle engine displacement classes every weekend. We're watching the 250s here. The 450 class is already wrapped up for the day. First moto earlier today. Well, let's show you the highlights before we get started in second moto. And this is a big shakeup. This is actually from qualifying, not the first moto. Joey Savacci, who had really been rallying in the series, crashes hard. He's nursing a bit of a foot injury from last week, and this will be enough to keep him out of action this weekend. So Versace Savacci not competing at Budds Creek after that pile into the ground. And then your first moto, watch the right side of your screen. Zach Osborne in the red jersey. That's the one thing your series points leader did not want to have happen.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time. He was up the inside, tried to play it safe, got taken down. Several riders going down, got caught up in the mess. This was going to be a long moto, comes from about 34th, 35th place. He was going to have to remount a charge, but he did that very well.
Adam Cianciarulo in the lead. How many times have we had clips like this only to watch him fall down while eating? Nope, not this time. He handled it. Under pressure from Jeremy Martin most of the way, but did not make a big error. Here is Osborne getting around the 486 of Chase Sexton to get into the top 10 late in the moto. He would eventually finish up in 8th. Yet another good salvage job of points for your series points leader. As for Adam Cianciarulo, he finally has a moto victory in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, the first of his career. Here are your results from that race. A little over an hour ago, Martin hangs on for second. His teammate, also in a Geico Honda, RJ Hampshire, is third. McElrath and Plessinger round out the top 5. Cunningham, Nichols, Osborne, Sexton, Cantrell, your top 10. And here is your MX versus ATV track map.
Yes. The start that we just saw, Craig Carnage, that sharp 180 left. It always makes things tough. Everyone trying to fit in that spot. You want to come out of there with the whole shot
then motorsport.com hole shot at the exit of the turn. Then you step up the hill, the arrow going through the rollers. We've seen different rhythms through there. Great passing opportunity. Then over the Lucas Oil finish line jump. And you come towards this part of the track, down the hill, off camber, climbing back up the hill over that step up that used to be the finish line, the left. Double right-hander, off camber, slick. Got to be a little bit cautious through there. Then you drop down the hill, try and get up that triple step down, carry your speed, leave the braking late into that left-hander, then over the Red Bull, step down into the right, then step back up, then up the hill on the gas hard. Will we see these 250 riders tripling up the hill? Then this gets tight and technical. Left, down the hill, off camber, right-hander, back up the hill, land into an off-camber corner, crest over this hill, then accelerate really hard, braking bumps, pick your inside or outside, through the gearbox, up the hill, over the Fly Racing triple step up, let off the throttle, soak that up, step down into a very slick off camber, scrub this jump, then get your weight back on the gas all the way up here. Then you got to brake before going over that crest, the Doug Henry hill, very infamous over the years. Also the Lucas Oil jump, right, left, down the hill. That's a lap here at Budds Creek. But if you want to win, you got to get the KTM keys to the Moto. Some riders are racing for a ride. It's your time to step it up if you want to have a good ride for next year. We've seen some guys stepping it up. Can we find someone else to maybe get their first Moto win? And you got to find good passing areas. If you don't get the whole shot, you got to pass people. This track very tough, a lot of off cameras. And some spots, if you get off the main line, you can actually lose ground. And then the big thing is today Osborne's day? It's been his season so far, but it's not over until it's over. Osborne, little trouble in that first Moto, but is this the time for him to wrap up his first ever national championship?
Let's give one other tip to potentially succeed out here at Budds Creek. It is your Pirelli tire tuck tip.
Hi, I'm Doug with Pirelli, and today we're going to talk about compound versus soil application. So many times people reference a soft compound tire or a hard compound tire. Compound is relatively different when it comes from tire to tire. The difference between a soft soil tire and an intermediate to hard soil would be like this MX32 mid-soft. The mid-soft refers to intermediate to soft soil. On the other, the mid-hard would refer to intermediate to hard soil. So the mid-soft is trying to dig into the loam, the mid-hard is trying to grip on top of the base.
And especially hard to figure out tire selection today because we had a lot of rain Thursday morning, Friday night, but the track has continued to dry throughout the weekend. So everyone guessing just a little bit in exactly what condition this soil will be in. There can be no guesswork if you're Zach Osborne and that Rockstar Energy Drink Husqvarna team. He has to have a 50-point lead when today ends to wrap up the title, or it goes to the finale next week in Indiana. He has a 54-point lead on Jeremy Martin at the moment. So if Martin beats Osborne by a position or two in this Moto, it's going to prevent Osborne from wrapping up the title. Then the pressure begins to ratchet up if it really does go down to the finale outside of Indianapolis next week.
Yeah, if you're Osborne, you'd probably be quite comfortable for the first time all season to finish second to your nearest rival, because that'd be just enough. That'd be a 51-point lead going to the final round. But we know it's motocross, we know it's racing. Usually nothing goes to plan, even when you try and plan it. So let's see.
Fly Racing 30-second card is up. One thing that I see the team has planned, Osborne is not on the extreme inside gate like he was in the first Moto. Now he's about eight gates or so from the inside. So that didn't work. Got caught in that huge pileup in our first race a little over an hour ago. So he's going to try to do it better here on that white number 16. And do not forget the battle for today's overall race win. Adam Cianciarulo trying to get his first ever in his career. Revs are up, gate is down, and somebody tried to jump the start. I think that might have been Sexton.
Yeah.
Well, that's one Geico Honda in last, but the other Geico Honda trying to get the lead. It's a drag race for it, and it is going to be the Geico Honda of Jeremy Martin with the motorsport.com hole shot. Shane McElrath fourth in the first Moto, is first now, though. He just got around Martin.
Third there, your points leader is Zach Osborne. Right behind him was Moto 1 winner, the 36 of Adam Cianciarulo. So look there, third and fourth. A lot of your heavy hitters near the front for this Moto 2. That's going to make things really interesting. Who is not near the front? Who's behind these riders? We saw some Yamaha riders going down the first turn, like Ferrandis, Taft, a few other ones.
Meanwhile, Chase Sexton, the rookie who had been struggling with starts this year, that was one way to try to do it. Just dump the clutch and go for it. And he went right into the gate, and he was stuck. So he's, I would assume, last place at this point, unless he made some passes in the back here. As Jeremy Martin on the number 6, the Geico Honda, tries to go after Shane McElrath, who was on the Troy Lee Designs Red Bull KTM. Martin won the race in the mud last week in upstate New York, and he is the one rider at this point that could stave off Osborne's championship celebration.
And we've talked about McElrath, obviously a rider with a lot of talent. He's had some wins, success in the past, whether it's motocross or supercross. But this year, we just were saying, he's been there, he's shown moments of maybe some brilliancy, but hasn't quite maybe put the season that we would have expected, or maybe the team and himself would have expected. But as we said, time is running out. The best thing you can do to change the outlook on a season is to end it off on a positive note. So I'm sure for McElrath, he's got nothing else in the back of his mind except, I want to win. I want to win. I don't care if it's a moto, when it is, how it is, I've got to get it done. And then this is kind of significant because this is actually your outdoor championship battle. Martin, the number 6, wants to wrestle it away from the 16 who's right behind him. So you know there's going to be a little bit of the egos involved in this battle too. Even though it's not the difference between winning or losing the title, they're sure going to make it feel that way.
Well, absolutely, but Osborne's got the opening. Oh, Martin doesn't want to make it easy on him, but he has no choice. He gets sealed off down to the inside. So Osborne up to second early in this one. And if it did end like this, it's kind of crazy when we say that 2 laps into a race, but if it did end like this, Osborne would have the championship locked up. But don't count out the green number 36 you see back there, CNC Rulo. He wants the weekend's overall, so he's got to pass Martin.
But if it does end like this, McElrath is going to win the overall with a tie, in the sense of it would be a 4-1 and a first as opposed to a first and a fourth. As we all know, the second moto trumps what happened in the first moto. So that would be interesting too. You know, Cincerello could probably be like, "Oh, you kidding me? I tied for a win and don't get it yet." Like, who has got it out for me? So, but keep it simple, simple math. Make enough passes and you'll win the overall. So he's got that opportunity. Let's see how the 36 can do. All the pressure from the entire Pro Circuit Kawasaki team rests on his shoulders. He's the lone soldier out there.
Yeah, we saw Savatgy go down with the crash in practice. Justin Hill out with a wrist injury. Austin Forkner out with a concussion. So it's up to CNC Rulo, but the team owner of that Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki team, Mitch Payton, the legendary motocross engine builder, said, hey, it only takes one. Maybe our one guy can win it today. But then he did say, but remember, we haven't won anything yet. It just would sound good if we did. The first moto was solid. He did get the win there, but he's got to get it done here in Moto 2. He's got to make at least one pass. It's not going to be easy, considering it's Martin and Osborne directly in front of him, and they are not slouches.
It's crazy to think that we're talking about Mitch Payton would dearly love this win, and Cincerello would dearly love this win. We're talking about two people that are so used to success.
Yeah.
In different aspects. Mitch Payton as a team owner, as an engine builder, suspension supplier. He's helped a lot of champions and teams over the years. He's built a lot of champions. Cincerello came out of the amateur ranks as the most decorated rider. Everyone thought he was just going to walk into the Pro Series and dominate. Injuries have obviously derailed that, made things a lot tougher. But a day like today can make that all go away, or some of it, that pain, go away with a great result.
And he's starting to close in on Martin. This would be the pass for the weekend's overall win if he can get around that red number 6. You see the points as they run for the weekend. Well, the championship would be Osborne's if it ends like this. On NBC. And that event, Red Bull Straight Rhythm, will be part of the Red Bull Signature Series a little later on this year. That's the Supercross track unwound. No turns, all jumps, all whoops, start and a finish. Always intense racing there. But this is the old school version of it. This is Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. The toughest riders on the toughest tracks. And you've got McElrath, the 38, your leader, dealing with intense pressure from the 16 of Zach Osborne. Jeremy Martin in 3rd place is close. Adam CNC Rulo is close in 4th. Any one of these 4 riders could get it. And what often happens when we have great racing, feels like we've been battling and battling and battling. We are only 9 minutes into a 30-minute and 2-lap event, so plenty of time for any one of these four to make a move.
Well, I feel like that's what we're waiting for. No one's actually physically made a move. Everyone's just been, I don't want to say sizing each other up. I know if any one of these guys had the extra pace or ability, they would make the pass and just check out, you know, send a message to your competition. But it's almost like they're all pushing, but what they're pushing with all these riders, their pace is all very similar. It's coming down to if someone makes a little mistake in a corner, the gap will, you know, open up 5 bike lengths, and then they can close it down and, you know, back and forth. But look at that. First, second, you see third coming in the picture. So top 5, 6 riders all right there. Top 5 covered by 5 seconds.
Just stretching out a little bit from where it was 2 laps ago. And that is all in favor of McElrath on that 38. Your leader, Osborne, here in second. Not as close as he was. So Shane, whose best moto finish this year was a 6th coming into today, 4th in the first moto, and leading here in Moto 2. And he has never won a moto in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. So this could be the opportunity.
Just happened to notice Jeremy Martin there went outside, outside, outside. And I think what a lot of it is it's that time of the day where those deep, heavy, moist outsides are starting to dry up. So it's not a disadvantage. In fact, it's smoother, and with it drying out, it's helping out. So just keep an eye on that. Martin using those outside. A little mistake from McElrath. Hey, Georgia, what do you got for him?
We caught up with Shane McElrath at Millville, and he kind of said, you know, this season, haven't put everything together. He wasn't feeling 100%. He'd been dealing with those niggling injuries that, you know, with his arm during Supercross and stuff like that. He said, I'm not feeling 100%, and things just aren't gelling for me. But it seems like today in this moto, with a good start, and towards the end of the season with the endurance, it's kind of coming together.
Yeah, I talked to Shane earlier this year, and he said there's been a lot of races where I'm wondering what's going on, team's wondering what's going on, KTM's wondering what's going on. He said in our opener at Hangtown, he was just riding as hard as he could, and he was several seconds a lap slower than everyone else, and he felt like he was riding good. So it has taken all season to finally get things in place for a rider who definitely has the talent to win these things. Could today be the day? If the race ends like this, he not only wins the moto, he would have his first career overall win on a day that provided quite a few of those. We had Vogel do it in our 450 class earlier. So, man, they're not putting that much heat on him. He's holding his own.
Yeah, 1 podium finish this year. I believe it was Millville. His previous best was at 8th place. So could you imagine going out, winning the second moto, and then winning the overall?
Yeah.
See one of the team members up there cheering his guy on. Like you said, not a ton of pressure. But what got him to this point? Obviously a great start. So let's have a look at our motorsport.com whole shot replay. And you'll see that 38. Straight line, almost to the inside. Chops everyone off. Martin had it coming in. Couldn't quite hug it just tight enough. But actually, I think Martin does. Yep, he does sneak it out at the end. But McElrath able to get around quickly. And that's what's been the difference. Whoa, 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 look at this.
Wait, well, the difference is almost gone now. The gap he had, which is about a second and a half on Osborne, is now down to nothing. So Osborne has suddenly decided to go on the attack. And there is some serious pressure for McElrath.
Yeah, there is. And Osborne's bike is smoking.
No way.
We saw that out of the corner. Look at it.
Yes. So the one thing beyond a first turn crash that you don't want to have happen with a championship hanging in the balance is a bike problem. And now Osborne might be dealing with that. He had the first turn crash in our first moto earlier today. Oh, boy. The heart's got to be in the throat for everyone on that team who's watching this. I don't know if Osborne's aware of it yet.
Yeah,
it's under the bike. Probably not seeing it.
I was going to say, he's probably the only one not stressing right now. The only thing he's stressing about is trying to take the lead. He's not, I guarantee he has no idea about the bike. And if you're the team, they're probably trying to figure out, what do we do? What do we say? Do we say anything? Do we let them know? Oh, easy on the clutch. So it might be the clutch is being fried. That's what we believe was happening to Justin Bogle in the 450 class. So this is not the first time we've seen something like this happen. In fact, a year ago at this exact race,
Well, we have Osborne
We saw a
from
problem.
Millville earlier. This is, they had an oil leak on the top of the cylinder head of his engine but a month ago in Minnesota, and this much smoke poured out, and we thought it was a matter of time before that bike would blow up, and it never did. He made it to the finish in 8th place.
all right, well, at that time, we weren't sure. We saw from the mechanic, Dave Feeney, what he had thought it was, so it was the same thing that we had done. We thought, okay, he's losing coolant, bike might overheat, slow it down. This may be a little bit different if he's putting clutch, because that's more from the inside the engine. Very easy to fry these punches as he tried to go around. Oh, but he buried the bike, got out and into that loose stuff. And you see him have a look over his shoulder, and I think between maybe noticing something with the bike and then a signal from the mechanic, not jump the jump. I wonder if he's not now getting in his head thinking, oh my goodness, not again, not again. So Georgia, can you add to us on the 16?
Just spoke to one of the Rockstar Husqvarna team members, and they said, yeah, it just seems like maybe the clutch is getting too hot. The track is super tough on the bikes. They overheat, but he said he thinks it should be fine. They should be able to continue. But like I said, the pit board said easy on the clutch, so he's obviously aware of it, and now it becomes a mind game.
Yeah, he wants to try to manage the motorcycle while not losing too many spots. That is, if he knows he has a bike problem. You're thinking maybe at this point there's enough evidence.
Well, if he saw that pit board,
Yes.
he now knows something is up.
Yeah. If he's reading it, sometimes the riders say they don't.
Yeah, exactly, huh?
So Osborne's still second. Jeremy Martin on the Geico Honda is still third. And if it ends like this, McElrath would be your overall winner. Cine Cirulo is fourth. And we're only halfway through. 15 minutes down, 15 minutes to go. And in 15 minutes, you can save 15% or more on your insurance by calling Geico. Osborne wishes he had the insurance policy right now with smoke coming out of the motorcycle in that lower left side of the engine cases. That is the clutch cover. That's where the clutch of the motorcycle, all those components are. Haven't seen as much smoke on this next lap. And in fact, he's ratcheted it back up and is on the rear fender of your leader, McElrath, again. Here's a Garmin course preview. We'll show you what it's like to actually ride out here. This is from Moto 1. Got the Garmin Verb 360 on Jeremy Martin.
Yeah, that's a good sight. Well, not necessarily that.
No.
Seeing riders going down, but it's a good sight that you're not part of it. And there's a lot of riders behind you. Not quite the whole shot, but as you can tell, just one Lawson rider out in front. That was Adam Cianciarulo, who happened to go on and take that Moto win. What can he do in Moto 2?
Jeremy Martin, by the way, 7 hole shots this season. Been aces off the start. So let's stay with this. Osborne trying to close again on McElrath. Every time you think he's really got him in his clutches, McElrath able to escape. Jeremy Martin not going anywhere. Cine Cirulo not going anywhere. Still only 4 seconds between these four, and the gap's been about that big the entire race. Who has something extra down the stretch to make it happen? Because Osborne looking to win the title. McElrath, Cine Cirulo, and Martin could all win the overall for the day.
Yeah, at this point, if you're McElrath, you don't really care what's happening with the championship. You just want to win. Lap traffic starting to get in the way. Riders trying to move. Are they going to get in the way? Other way. A little mistake there. Yeah. Did he go down?
I think he went down. I think he went down, and that might change everything. Because if Cine Cirulo goes up to third, he would then jump McElrath for the overall for the weekend. There it is. He did crash. So it's come undone for J-Mart. And he's one of the shorter riders. Oh, and Osborne's trying to take the lead from McElrath, and he does. Boy, this has changed in a hurry. In 3 corners, 2 positions have swapped. Martin goes back. So does McElrath. Osborne now in position to ice the title with the mistake by Martin. Wow, that changed.
That just changed dramatically. It went from, lappers and a 3-way battle for the lead, and all of a sudden it totally changed. Martin down. We saw it out of the corner of our eye there on the camera shot. Not sure exactly what happened, but obviously a mistake. And then shortly after that, we come back and Osborne gets a pass on McElrath coming up that jump just past the mechanics area. So I'm sure for Zach Osborne, if you're going to win this championship, it'd be great to finish it off with a Moto win, as we like to say as a racer, go out in style. And for him, winning this Moto, even if he doesn't get the overall, it's still going to be a great way to secure your first ever championship. Oh, he's out of tear-offs. He was wiping his goggle lens, so that's probably one of the reasons he wanted to get to the front very quickly.
Let's show you what happened to Martin.
Look at your lower left. Look at the lower left of the corner. You'll see Martin coming to the screen, but you'll probably see he's out of control already. Oh, mistake there.
And Cianciarulo just able to get by. That was actually the pass for the overall there. And then moments later, Osborne sending it, as the kids like to say, down to the inside, through the rollers, and steals the lead.
The quickest line through there is to go wide, square it up, and go double-double, or single double-double. McElrath did that. Osborne obviously knew he was going to do it. What's the best thing you can do if you don't take the premier line? Take his line away and make sure he can't do it. Smart move from Osborne, and he's got the hammer down now.
So Cianciarulo now has a comfortable lead as far as the overall is concerned for the weekend. Gaining a position with Martin going down, and then McElrath losing a position with Osborne executing the pass. So now Cianciarulo is in prime position to win the overall. How does he play it? This third would be enough. Does he go after McElrath for second? Or does he just try to hang back? Can't hang back too much. Plessinger and Nichols on the Yamaluke Star Racing Yamahas are lurking.
He's going to do whatever he can. If his pace allows him to, he's going to go after the riders in front of him. And I think that goes, you know, without saying. I mean, if he knew he could finish third or fourth for the championship, that's different. He's not worried about the championship. He just wants to go and win. So if a 1-3 gets it done, then great. But it'd be even better to go and pass your competition and make it, I think, better than a 1-1, especially to go win your first overall. But he's in a great position. McElrath right in front of him. Seems to have maybe just lost his rhythm a little bit, McElrath, since being passed by Osborne. Or either that or Osborne just really putting the hammer down and getting away right now.
Well, that's what Zach has done in a lot of motos this year in the second half. He really pours it on. But right now, Adam Cianciarulo in position for his first career overall win in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Third behind McElrath, could get it done. Have to get around Joseph Newgarden in the standings. That should be fun to watch. Pocono tomorrow here on NBCSN.
Talk about a tight championship.
Yeah.
We're talking about this being a championship. That one is really tight.
Often is in that Verizon IndyCar series. It comes down to the last race more often than not. McElrath in second here, the number 38. Young kid out of North Carolina, and the Floridian Cianciarulo jumping downhill. Now he's going for it. He wants that second place spot. Plessinger and Nichols were getting too close for comfort, so he's going to try to pass the rider in front of him, prevent them from passing him.
Wow, Cianciarulo just railed that outside. It is the longer way around and not the preferred line, but almost made it work there. McElrath trying everything as well. Probably has a pretty good idea that, hey, every point position counts right now, especially for the overall. He would be in second, but if he loses another spot, he would actually drop to third overall, because Osborne and he would tie, but Osborne would get the overall for a better second motor finish. Cianciarulo to the outside. Can it work? Gets on the gas. Oh, you see the bike bobble a little bit, trying to get in there. So McElrath running those inside lines, being protective. But it's not just the protective line. Most of the insides around this track are also the premier line or the fastest line. So he's basically saying, okay, Adam, you want to get around? Go find your own route.
And that's the same thing Adam was saying to Plessinger, who's back behind him. Osborne has stretched it to about 3 seconds now. Not a gigantic lead, but just enough where if these two really start pushing each other, they won't be able to get too close. Here we go, past the mechanics area. I don't know if McElrath knows how the overall is falling right now. He just doesn't want to get past, so he's making it tough. AC to the inside, and he makes it happen. Not tough enough. Did McElrath make it?
Yeah, unfortunately, McElrath, he's caught between a rock and a hard place in that corner. Quickest line is to go outside, like I said before, and when you do that, you leave yourself exposed. So when a guy's right on you, that's what he's going to do. He's going to take the line away. Even though it balks both of you and slows you both down, it's more important to get the pass made.
So Zach Osborne, closer and closer. The championship, he can practically see it now. Probably 4 laps to go on this moto. And if it ends like this, he will wrap up his first professional motocross title. Zach Osborne is 2.5 laps away from his first career professional motocross title, and it was long awaited. 11 years ago at this very track, as a rookie in the pro ranks, he led the first 20 minutes of a 30-lap race. And then in the last 10 minutes, he put on perhaps the worst fatigue fade we've ever seen. He went to 18th place from first without crashing. 18 riders passed him in 10 minutes. And that almost ruined him right there. He was quickly pinned to the reputation as not in great shape and not taking his diet seriously enough. Then he had some crashes and some injuries, and after 2 seasons here, he had nowhere to go. He found a ride in Europe with Steve Dixon's British Yamaha team. Had a big breakthrough, actually won a World Grand Prix event in Istanbul, and that kind of put him back on the map. But he did say at that point, he thought maybe he would just complete his racing career in Europe. Things were going well over there. But he took a chance on himself 5 years ago to come and race a couple of Supercross races to show the teams in the United States that he still had the ability to win at Supercross, which is a very American form of racing. And he did well. He actually had 3 podiums in 4 races there in the offers.
Which he was not known for Supercross. He was known as a motocross guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened. When he didn't come and crush it, get it done, people thought, oh, well, that's your only sport you're good at.
If you're only good at motocross, you're going to have to stay in Europe. Yeah. But he quickly had offers from a variety of teams. Rode for Geico Honda for a few years, was a top 5 guy, some podiums. Then last year for this Rockstar Husky team at this very track, the same one where it all came unglued 10 years before, he got his first win in motocross at this track last year. Switched to the Alden Baker training program in the offseason this year, and he has taken another step. Got the win at this track last year, but now he has been good at every track.
You mean overall win or moto win?
He got an overall win. He won a moto at High Point.
Why do I think he had mechanical?
This was the only race last year that he didn't have a mechanical late in the season. He had him, I think, in 4 out of the last 5.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, this one he actually won. And I remember him last year saying, my life is, everything's irony. I cannot believe the first race I won was at Budds Creek, the track where it all came undone for me as a rookie. I don't know if he would have imagined that 1 year later we'd be here, and now he's ready to celebrate a championship at this track.
Incredible. You love to see that hard work paying off, dedication. Zach, maybe not the most, not the big, loud guy out on the scene or Mr. Social. Kind of sticks to himself, does his thing, keeps his inner circle close.
Well, he has a totally different scenario than most riders in this class. He's 27 years old, one of the oldest riders out here. Married, they have a young daughter. So a little bit different than the typical 250 rider who's a hotshot teenager like he was back in the day when he struggled here. So
we've all been there at some point.
Yeah. So and there it is. There's Brittany, the wife, headed to the podium, perhaps to celebrate a title. I'll put the hex on. So they've come a long way, and she was with him during his time in Europe. They've been together as a couple for a long, long time. Meanwhile, celebration for the Osborne family. Will it be the same thing for the CNC Rulos as Adam is looking to take his first ever overall victory at this track, just like Osborne did a year ago. And Georgia has Zach Osborne's wife, Brittany. Georgia.
Brittany's not used to having to be on camera or on the television, but your husband, Zach, is about to take the 250 championship. How are you feeling?
I can't describe it. I'm so proud of him and just happy for him.
I'll let you enjoy the moment in a moment. Thanks, Brittany.
I think fighting back some tears there. Might have to switch. She might have to hold Mom. Mom's going to be the one having the emotional outburst here at the end of this moto. And like I said, Brittany was with Zach through all of that. The downs, the move to Europe. And
that's some tough times, man. Relocating family and everything.
Yeah.
Going to somewhere you're not familiar with. I can speak firsthand. It's a different deal. But I think what it does is it makes you appreciate coming back and having this sort of success.
And this opportunity.
Yeah, the opportunity as well as going, the success comes after the opportunity.
Yeah.
You're right there. But I think what this is really special about is this guy's been through a lot. And even though you can say, oh, he's only in his 20s, in moto terms, he's like a 50-year-old motocross racer, you know. He's been through a lot, ups and downs. Europe, here, losing rides, getting rides, hoping for a ride. Got his wife, his daughter. He knows what this means. I can't actually wait to just see his emotions, because I'm pretty sure when you see your wife getting teary-eyed and she's holding your daughter. I think as any human being, it makes it pretty surreal.
And it's going to happen. Osborne is now only one corner away from winning his first ever professional motocross title. He won a Supercross championship earlier this year. It has been a dream ride for the number 16 out of Abingdon, Virginia. Zach Osborne is your 250 National Motocross Champion. And there, Adam Cianciarulo on the 36 has won his first ever Lucas Oil Pro Motocross race 4 years after he made his pro debut at this track, and countless injuries and heartbreak since. Cianciarulo is finally on top with a long-anticipated and much hyped first ever win for him.
Can you hear the crowd?
Yes.
This place is going bananas. It's all in the background, but there is a big crowd revving whatever they've got. Their voices, chainsaws, vuvuzelas, whatever you can bring.
Well, what's cool for Zach out of Virginia is that he raced a lot here as a kid growing up. So these fans remember him as a young hotshot that they expected to find this kind of success. They didn't expect it to take 11 years for him to get here. And it's cool. This is the last moto of the day, and these fans have stuck around to salute what they thought might be some history, and it is. Now the team is over there ready to congratulate him as well. And we will talk to, I'm sure, a very emotional new champion right after this. It's been a long and winding path for Zach Osborne to become an overnight success, but his journey has been powered by the pure joy of riding a motorcycle. The Virginian struggled after turning pro in America. Out of options, he turned to racing overseas, competing in MXGP and earning the 2010 ACU British MX2 Championship. Over there, he learned perseverance and rediscovered the joy of racing anybody, anytime, anywhere. But even after returning home in 2012, his results were mixed until he finally earned his first overall win 1 year ago here at Budds Creek. A switch to trainer Alden Baker put Zach in daily contact with top riders Ryan Dungey, Marvin Muscan, and Jason Anderson, and helped him raise his game to new heights. A late charge through the pack and a daring last lap pass on rival Joey Savacci earned Zach a 250 East Region Supercross title. He carried that confidence over to the outdoor season, starting at Hangtown when he went 1-1 to set the tone for a championship season. Zach Osborne goes 1-1 at Hangtown, but it's not the wins that stand out. Osborne's experience has taught him how to minimize the damage on the bad days. It doesn't matter what you throw at Zach Osborne. Whatever it is, he's seen worse, and he's enjoyed it more than anyone else. Zach Osborne, your 250 class national champion.
And I'm very proud to announce that at the end of the day, we have the 2017 Motocross champion in the 250 class, Zach Osborne, and here to present the #1 plate, the AMA race manager, Mike Pelletier.
Zach, what an awesome season it's been, man. On behalf of the American Motorcyclists Association and MX Sports Pro Racing, it gives me great pleasure to present you with the 2017 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship 250 #1 plate. Congratulations.
About your season. There have been ups, there have been downs, but it doesn't seem to matter. No matter what's happened, you've managed to come through, and obviously at the end of the day taking the championship. What does this mean?
It means a lot. It's awesome to win it here at Budds Creek in front of a lot of friends and family, and it's just an amazing feeling. I have to give it up to the good Lord. If it weren't for him, none of this would be possible. I'm the most blessed kid on earth. I have an amazing support team around me, my wife and kid, and just everybody in my program that is there on a daily basis. I owe a lot of this to Alden, Ryan, Jason, and Marvin to let me in on their program and make me a champion this season. It's been amazing, and I just can't say enough about Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing and all the guys on that team. They've been behind me since I stood on this team the first day, and they're still behind me right now, and that's a great feeling.
It kind of shows today is kind of a picture of your season so far. First moto, first turn crash, coming through the pack, and then taking the second moto win. With these ups and downs, I mean, how did you get through it mentally?
It was tough. I was pretty distraught after that first moto, coming in with enough to cover it on a day like today, where a track where I'm really comfortable with. I felt really comfortable with wrapping up the title, and then to get 8th in the first moto and kind of put my back against the wall. That's I kind of thrive in that situation, so I'm happy to have made it work. I just went back and reached out to the Lord and just asked for strength and a start, and he gave it to me, so I'm just one grateful kid right now.
Let's give it up for our 2017 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross 250 champion.
And there the family gets to celebrate a long road, ending up with a #1 plate.
Yeah, you know, for Osborne, he's done it a little different to some of the other superstars over the years. They seem to have success early in their career, and I don't want to say you take it for granted, but just keep thinking it's going to roll. For him, he had to go the other way around. The tough times, going around the world, trying to figure it out, and comes back and gets his first title. Incredible.
And here's how he did it. It's your Lucas Oil race recap. Jeremy Martin makes a big mistake. He was running third and close to Osborne, and that crash would actually open the door for Adam Cianciarulo to move into position to win the weekend's overall. Only a few turns later, Osborne says, let me go to the lead. He gets around Shane McElrath, so he sheds the pressure from Martin, passes McElrath, and with that Moto win, it would be easy as far as the points are concerned to wrap up the title here one race early. And right behind him, Cianciarulo would wrap up the weekend's overall. There's Osborne celebrating, and then the big burnout on the podium. That Moto win gives him second overall on the day, and the championship, unfortunately, overshadowed just a bit after 4 years of waiting, is Adam Cianciarulo getting his first career overall win. Let's send it to Georgia with him.
I don't think that matters for Adam today, a Moto win and taking the overall. I can see the smile on your face. It's been a long time coming, but you did it.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable emotion for me. This season it's been up and down. I've had good moments and bad moments, and like you said last week, the week before, I've been consistent, but just haven't got that win. And man, it just seems like every weekend it's like the pressure builds. The pressure builds. It's like it's got to be this weekend. It's got to be this weekend. And I think that was holding me back for a while. I was blowing it, and even last weekend after I crashed, last week it was tough, man. It was tough. I actually had Nick Way come to Florida and work with me, and man, it made such a difference. You know, Mitch, Bones, Ian, Zach, everybody at Pro Circuit Kawasaki, and Bruce and Dan at Kawasaki. It's an unbelievable feeling. It's a dream come true for me, and just glad to be here.
Congratulations, Adam Cianciarulo, taking the overall, and we're going to go grab Shane McElrath. Third place overall today for Shane McElrath, and I'm just going to bring you around here on the side of the bike. But Shane, we talked about you earlier. You've had ups and downs this season, not feeling 100%, but you pulled everything together and leading the race as well.
Yeah, it feels like we've had way more lows than highs, but that's part of it. I mean, this is my 4th year, and we're still learning, so felt good to get good starts. That's what I've been lacking, and just it's been running my confidence through the ground. So felt good to get 2 good starts. The whole team, the Charlie Designs, GoPro Red Bull KTM team, TK, Luke, Wayno, Ryan, our engine guy, my mechanic Andy, he's leaving in 2 weeks, so my mom drove up, so this race is for Andy and my mom, and just thankful to be up here. I mean, we've had a long outdoor season to say the least, but it feels good to finally put 2 good motos together.
Congratulations, Shane McElrath, 3rd overall today.
Boy, emotion all around on the podium, even for McElrath to finally get that first top 3 finish of the year. That feels good for him. We'll have highlights of this Budds Creek show in a couple of days, August 25th on NBCSN. And then our finale next weekend, MAV TV and coverage on NBCSN. We'll wrap it starting at 5 o'clock Eastern time next week from the Ironman just outside of Indianapolis. For Grant Langston and Georgia Lindsay, I'm Jason Wygant saying so long. Thanks for joining us here at Budds Creek. Congrats to our first-time overall winner, Adam Cianciarulo, and our first-time champion, Zach Osborne, on top in 250 National Motocross.